Hey leaders, hope you guys are doing great. Just want to send a short and sweet recap of our leader meeting that we had this past week. So either Thursday or Friday, we had a Zoom meeting, and just wanted to give some details for those of you that missed it. And then I will let you know our next leader meeting that is going to be happening a month from now. I'll let you know that this week, so you can add that to your calendar and be more than ready in advance. So we talked about our vision. We want to honor the Lord. We want to be simply about Jesus. And the way we kind of communicate that is we want to help people and students primarily in our context to meet, know, and follow Jesus. A big goal this year as a church and as a student ministry is discipleship, which is a big part of why we started middle school ministry this past Sunday. And it was amazing. And the cool thing I really enjoyed about that time was I got to sit down and to see all the students that were there. We had about 25 or so middle school students, and to be able just to genuinely talk to them. We played Jenga and connect with them, and it was really cool because a smaller environment and atmosphere, and you're not moving around hustle and bustling kind of like on Wednesday nights. It's just a bigger environment. And man, it was a sweet time. Got to know a couple of nicknames of a couple of our girls, which was funny. So just our goal this year is discipleship, and really a big part of my desire is for the remainder of the year is to make sure that you leaders are known, because I truly believe that healthy leaders pour into students and help them be healthy as well. And so we want you leaders to be known, as well as for you to know your students as well. So talking about summer camp stuff and summer opportunities, we're going to wrap up our schedule of small groups next month. And then June is our high school camp. July is our international missions trip to Reynosa, Mexico. And then August is our middle school camp. So I'm going to be sending out some specific ways that would be helpful to have your guys' input and thoughts into what we're doing. And just some of you guys have been around a while, and some of you guys are new. And so I'd love to know any fresh ideas about summer camp stuff. And I think I want a big part of that to be our next leader meeting. We'll be pretty much thinking all things camps, because it'll give us plenty of time to make any adjustments and all that kind of stuff. But I want to let you guys know of opportunities as well to be able to be a part of what we're doing, just because we have a small staff, and we want to make sure to incorporate your guys' wisdom into what we're doing in our youth ministry. So I would appreciate that. So our high school camp, Road Rules, is going to be located at our church. We're going to stay at our church, do worship at our church. Seth and the worship team of our church is going to be doing worship for us. The pastors on our staff are going to be doing the messaging, and a big part of that is when I sent out the message last week about Living Hope and about incorporating our students into the larger body of our church. And I want them to be able to know a lot of the key leaders that God has brought to our church. So that's why we are having our staff be a part of our summer camp, not only for Road Rules, but also middle school summer camp in August as well. So so we meant a big part of our camps is having you guys there. I mean, you get like a year and a half worth of small groups in 1 week. That's the amount of time that you get with the students. So we'll be sending out signups to see those of you that can be a part of our camps here in the very near future as well. And then in July with our Reynosa mission trip, it's a great opportunity. It's an orphanage and a Christian school. We go down and we do work projects, and we love on the families who take care of 15 to 18 boys or girls. Their orphanage is set up like a home. A married couple and their own kids are loving and pouring their heart and soul every week into a group of boys or girls. And so Ray Hansen, the missionary, is just an awesome dude. Been there for 29 years, I think now. And we get to play with the kids that live on site in the orphanage. And we get to do some work projects, and we get to see what ministry is like in Reynosa. It's really, really cool. And then when it comes to our middle school summer camp, that's going to be located in Buda, just a few miles from, actually maybe 1 mile from my house. It's Twin Oaks Ranch, and we're going to stay on site. They've got a big kitchen. Chris is actually going to do food, not only for Wednesday nights, and been doing a great job of that, but he's actually going to be helping do the food for both our high school camp in June and our middle school camp in August. And so he'll kind of rally up some folks to do all the food stuff for us. And the big part of why we do these two camps is twofold. And I really want you to hear the heartbeat behind why. Road Rules are to begin this summer because we want to capture as many high school students as we can before they get into all the sports and activities, and later on in the summer vacations. It's just try to kind of get it over with rather quickly. But for the sake of integrating our 8th grader into the high school. And so they get to spend a whole week with other high school students, and Road Rules is multi-grade and multi-gender in the teams for the whole week. So it just really helps them to get to know a lot of other people. Every year I hear 30, 40 students say, man, I now feel more connected than I ever have in my entire life because they went on Road Rules, because of the way that we integrate the teams, because of the way that we do all the competitions, and we kind of force them to become a family. And there's some pros and cons to that, and it's a joy to see that develop and to take place throughout the week. But that's why we do our high school camp at the beginning of the summer. In our middle school camp, we want the 5th graders who are 5th graders right now. They are going to actually move up into the middle school ministry in June. So they're going to have all summer, June, July, and August to get to know the other 6th and 7th graders. And then that way, hopefully they built those relationships and they feel comfortable coming on our summer camp for our middle school students at the end of the summer. So it's really a big part of integrating our new students, our new 8th graders into high school, and our new 5th graders into middle school into the student ministry to help them build those connections and those relationships. If you've been around youth ministry long enough, you know that relationships are king. Well, Jesus is king, let me clarify, but having those strong relationships to be able to influence and pour into the lives of other students is a big deal, but also for those other students to know other students, to feel trusted by other students, to feel comfortable with other students, and that honestly helps make them feel much more connected and involved. And so when they come to our environments and when they come to the fun things that we do, they already feel more at home versus coming for the first time. It feels awkward because you kind of feel like an outsider, because in some ways you are, because you're not, if you're new to the group, most people feel like it's like, well, I'm not connected. Well, you need to give it 7 times. You come for 7 weeks in a row, and that'll be just a really, really helpful way for students to get connected. So anyway, also throughout the summer, we're going to be doing activities on Wednesday and Sunday night. So, and these are designed specifically for relational connectability, again, to integrate 5th grade into middle school and 8th grade into high school. So Wednesday nights, we are going to have our middle school events. We're going to go tubing. We are going to go to Zilker Park. We'll have a movie in the courtyard, just fun events. High school, we're going to have fun events as well, but we're going to do those on Sunday nights. And the reason we're doing both of these on different nights, and there'll be times where there's a collaborative effort, like we do a party barge, and we'll just pick a Sunday or a Wednesday night and we'll do that all together, because there's a cost in that, and it's just a lot more fun when there's a lot of us together. Zilker Park is historically with both middle school and high school, so some of those things will be combined, but a majority of them won't. But a reason we want to build that rhythm of Sunday nights for high school is because we want to launch our Sunday night high school ministry the Sunday after Road Rules. So June 20th, I believe, is when it'll be. And so we want to build that rhythm for our high school students to be gathering together on Sunday nights. So that way, when the school year starts, and as we ask the Lord, like, man, what would you desire for us to do? And what atmosphere and environment would you desire for us to create in order for us to love on and encourage our high school students on Sunday nights? So that we want to kind of help build that rhythm into what's taking place throughout the summer. And yeah, so just want to let you guys know, I know there's a lot of details, but those details are kind of important and they matter, but that'll give you an idea what's taking place from now until June, July, August. We'll start small groups back up in September. So anyway, one ask I do have of you guys that would be a huge blessing is we want to try to find our small group leaders for our current 5th graders, and try to find those leaders as soon as possible, so that way they can get to know those leaders throughout the summer. And then when our small group start in September, we want to connect all of those students to a small group. And obviously you leaders, almost all of you are small group leaders. So if you could do me one thing, actually 2 things. Would you just take a few moments or a few minutes or even longer, if you would be able to, and just to pray and ask God to bring not the best leaders, but the most godly leaders that would love students to be a part of our 6th grade class that's coming up. If you would, and just pray with me and just, okay, God, like, man, who do you want to add to our team? Because this is our team. Just ask the Lord to do that, if you would, please. And then if somebody comes to your mind, if the Lord lays somebody on your heart, if you would just call them or shoot them a text message and say, hey, God placed you on my heart for whatever reason. I want to extend the invitation for you to be a part of our middle school and our high school leadership team. I trust you guys. I know most of you pretty well. Some of you really, really well, which is really fun. And so if you would be willing to do that, that would be such a huge blessing. You guys know people that I don't. And we want to try to help just develop a team of leaders who are going to love the heck out of middle school students, simply because, as well as you and as well as them, they have a relationship with Christ and they're desiring to be able to pour out the overflow into other students. That would be a huge blessing. If you'd be willing to take some time to pray about that with me, I'm going to ask the Lord who would he bring to our team. Other than that, those are the details. If you do have an idea or a thought process on how we should do things better or different, or just even a random idea that God's placed on your heart as you've been hanging out on Wednesday nights and loving on students, some of the leaders brought up some really, really good things. And I made some good notes about a couple of things that I need to improve on. One is getting you guys small group questions earlier. That's why I got you those today on Monday, and I sent you the passage last Thursday. So I'm going to do my best to do a better job of communicating that with you, as well as landing on a better time to do, not a better time, but to do a consistent time for our leader meetings so that those are better, more attended, as well as just more beneficial for all of us. So I took some notes on some of those things, as well as I think it was Eric who brought up a great point. He was like, man, I kind of want to know what some of the other leaders are doing, how their groups are going. So thinking through as well, like, how do we gather you guys together in appropriate times and opportunities for you guys just to brag about, like, how are things going in your group? How does your individual small group go? Do you guys, end up chatting for 30 minutes, or do you do prayer requests? Like, how does it go? Just, the normal rhythm for you guys specifically, because everyone's a little different. But one of the great things, it was Rachel Bailey who brought up, one of our coaches, brought up the fact that prayer, in her experience in some of the groups, and even I felt very convicted personally when she said this as well. Just oftentimes in her experience and hanging out with some of the groups, that prayer has just kind of been an add-on, and not something that's really been as emphasized as much as it could be. And I'm like, wow, like that's a great observation. And I know sometimes, we're running late or they're really chatty and we feel the need to get through questions and, all of those things. And so anyway, her and Josh are going to do a little training video for us that we're going to send out. Just the importance of prayer. We don't want to diminish that at all. And we want to make sure that we uphold that biblical value and the importance of that, even in our small group. So anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you all very, very much, and look forward to seeing you guys on Wednesday.